Today we're going to answer the question of when you should put your annual calendars on sale versus your academic calendars, your planners, your niche planners, your specialty, your mid-year planners. So what's the ideal time to make sure they're available for people when they need them, but not too soon and not too late? Hi everyone, I'm Lisa from Pretty Fabulous, and I help online businesses create beautiful digital downloads using Adobe InDesign. So if this sounds like you or something you might be interested in, make sure to hit the subscribe button below. I post new videos every Monday and Thursday, and I do unboxings on Saturday. Today we're talking about the ideal time for you to sell your planners. Now, when you make those available to your customers is going to be largely determined by the type of planner so that certain planners don't cannibalize others. So let's just go ahead and talk about the four major planners that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about your annual, your traditional, which is your January through December. We are going to talk about your mid-year planner, also known as an academic planner. And we're also going to talk about niche specialty planners as well as undated planners. So let's get started. The first one is your traditional. That's really easy. The January to December, those need to be available in the fall. We're at July right now, so you should be finalizing your design. It should be out to your production company if you are getting those produced professionally overseas, and you should be looking at copies and proofs right now so that you can start doing pre-sales in August and then have those ready to ship or release in September. I would say October 1st is the latest that you want to put those on sale. However, I don't think you should be too worried if you are doing electronic only. That's not a problem. You can sell those right up into January 31st. Not a big issue, and throughout the year, because you don't have any inventory. But for the bulk ones, you want to get those as soon as possible. Now, the second type of planner is your academic or mid-year planner. Now, those typically run from July to June of the next year, and that way you can make sure to cover whether people are in grade school or high school or college. And I know that there are some schools that have been doing year-round children in school, which, I think don't worry about that. That is more of the non-traditional format, and I don't know that a lot of schools have switched over to that. So just worry about the traditional academic calendar. And if you have a planner that is an academic calendar or for a mid-year that starts in July, then you for sure want to start making those available right around April 1st. So as soon as January 1st hits, you should be working on your mid-year planner, if not before. I would almost argue that you should maybe plan the annual and the mid-year at the same time, so you're kind of just ready to go as soon as March or April hits. Because what happens is, as soon as you kind of hit that first quarter is over, like January, February, March, people are still okay with purchasing an annual planner. They're like, whatever, I'll just kind of rip out the first 3 months. It's my fault for being late, or maybe I didn't like the original planner that I purchased, so I would like to try a different system. But as soon as you hit April or May, it just kind of becomes silly. Like, people feel as if they're not getting the value of the price of the planner, even if it's on sale or discounted. They just feel like it's a little silly to buy an annual planner that late in the year. So they are going to be wanting the mid-year planner. And I would almost say, I think people are still going to be buying those planners, but you're going to have to discount them at such a huge rate once April hits, just because you're going to want to get those off of your shelf. Now, we're talking about the traditional annual. So you're going to want to start pre-selling that July through June one. And trust me, people will just feel better. I know this sounds counterintuitive. Just doing the pre-order for your mid-year planner, they don't really need it necessarily right that minute, but just pre-ordering it makes them feel a little better, like they're organized and they're moving in the right direction. So the third type of planner is your specialty niche planner. Now, those you really need to know the industry that you're in, and obviously you have to know if those within there's so many different variations. Is it more of a journal workbook? Is it undated? Does it have dates? Does it coincide with a program? Or maybe it's a spiritual planner that coincides with the phases of the moon or something mystical. So those are very industry specific. So I will take the fitness industry because that's the one that I come from, that I'm most familiar with. And January and March and June and September see huge spikes in fitness sales, people signing up for personal trainers. It's just the nature of how people think throughout the year. And again, I'm obviously talking about probably people in the US and in Canada because of the way the seasons fall within that part of the world. I'm sure it's very different for Australia or other parts of I can't even say Europe, because Europe kind of follows the same, but the other side, I guess the bottom half of the equator. That's what I'm trying to say. So that might be a little different, but you should know that based on where you live and which kind of planners you're trying to sell. Same thing with faith or spiritual biblical planners. You really need to understand what's going on, what some of the major holidays are that would sort of provoke people or spark their interest in wanting a planner within that particular niche. Now, the fourth area is undated planners, and you can sell those anytime at any point in the year. Now, the nice thing about the undated planner is the undated planner is typically used for a specific purpose. So it almost ties back in with what we had before, but sometimes people just want a generic open planner. Maybe they are doing quarters or trimesters, or maybe they're trying to plan for a baby or a wedding or something else, but you just never know. That's the whole point of an undated planner. So I would say those planners should be available year round, no matter what. Now, I would come out with a new undated planner design at the same time that you come out with your annual planner, because sometimes people just kind of know themselves, and a lot of us, me included, I'm guilty of buying planners and then time just passes by and I have so many blank pages. So maybe the next year I just know and I'm going to buy an undated planner. However, I don't want the same stale design that was from last year. And I say stale because for some reason, when you have a new release that's very exciting to people, you can have a new release even though it's an undated planner. I think the biggest mistake that I see planner companies doing is having an undated planner and just saying, this is for those people that just don't want my regular awesome stuff, so I'm never going to bother updating it. I'm just going to have this generic looking undated planner, and I'm never going to bother updating the fonts or the colors or the styles. And if that's what you want, then you're just stuck buying that forever. I don't think people want that. So I would come out with a new one every time you come out with your annual planner. I think that's a perfect time. If you are interested in creating your own planners, I have two really great options for you. The first is signing up for my free Planner 101 course, and I will leave the link for that below. That will walk you through everything you need to think about before you even start thinking about creating a planner or starting your business. Do I need a Kickstarter to get funding, or do I want to make physical planners or digital downloads better for me? Do I want to hire a designer? So it walks you through everything you need to know, and it comes with a free workbook, which has, I think, about 50 questions in there just to help you get your thoughts organized. Now, the second option, if you're like, I totally am going to do this, I'm going to make a planner today and I'm going to sell it tomorrow, I have a ton of InDesign templates that are ready to go. And if you don't know how to use Adobe InDesign, I also have a free 5-day Adobe InDesign course that you can take. So I will leave the link for that below as well. Now, the nice thing about the templates is they're ready to go. So I have academics, I have a annual, a monthly, a weekly, a daily. So you can kind of mix and match all of those different pages and put them together. And I have tutorials as well on how to move pages in between InDesign files, as well as how to resize them if you would like to make planners for people who have A4 versus the personal versus the pocket. So you can really just take all of the templates and the free lessons that I provide and start your own planner business today. So just to recap, you have two options. One is Planner 101, which is free, and the second option is just going ahead and going to the shop and downloading a template. We're doing both. So I hope that was helpful, but let's just recap what we talked about today on the timing for when you want to sell your planners. So first we talked about the annual planner, and that one should be available and ready to go, especially if it's a physical one, for delivery by October 1st. The second one is your academic planner, and that really you want to sell in the second quarter, so April, May, June. And in order to do that, I would go ahead and plan your mid-year academic calendar at the same time you do your annual. The third option is the special specialty niche, and that really is dependent on the customer and the industry that you are targeting. And the fourth one is the Undated Planner, which I think can be available all year round, but the most important thing that you need to do is come out with a new release, right? Spruce it up. Update the style, change the colors, add some new fonts, all these different things that you could do actually if you take Beautiful Branding. Now, Beautiful Branding is a premium paid course, and that walks you through everything. Like, it is pretty much the culmination of every single branding course that has ever been made, but I boiled it all down to in 3 easy to follow lessons, as well as a 4th bonus lesson that gives you a Photoshop template, which I never released Photoshop, but I really want to help you create what's called a branding guide. The branding guide is something that is going to help you in case you decide to hire a designer, or if you just need it for reference on your own, on hex color codes, on your mood board for inspiration. It goes through different fonts. It talks about typography, and it also has a really robust lesson on color palettes, as well as the psychology of color, right? Because I think it's really important when you pick colors that you pick colors that are going to sell to your target market. So, you know, it goes through everything in the kitchen sink to not only pick something beautiful, but also pick something that's going to be profitable. So I'll leave that link below. But Beautiful Branding, just so you know, if you are in the Premium Planner course, which I have now rebranded as Planner Academy, Planner Academy teaches you absolutely, everything you need to know. I actually do design lessons in there for every type of page. We're talking your cover, your table of contents, like whatever you need, it walks you through that, as well as it gives you templates, InDesign templates that are not available anywhere in my shop. Now, if you are in the Planner Academy, you get Beautiful Branding for free. So you don't have to pay for Beautiful Branding, which is $97, because you'll just get it for free if you are inside Planner Academy. All right, I hope that was helpful, and I really want to help you make a planner. I think it's July right now. I think it's a really great time to start marinating all of those great ideas that you have, storyboarding them out, putting together mood boards, and planning to sell and rock this year with your great planners for 2019. All right, I hope to see you guys in one of my courses, and if not, I will see you guys back here on Saturday. Bye.